R. Kelly. Brother R. Kelly is one of the greatest performers in the history of performing. Do I know what R. Kelly did? Absolutely not. Am I speaking about his case? Absolutely not. What I'm speaking about is R. Kelly was a man who could not read and write. R. Kelly is a man who wrote, he produced, he sung, Trapped in the Closet. R. Kelly is a man that gave us hit after hit for 20 years. Could not read or write. So R. Kelly has been trying to get a hold of his masters, and he's been fighting for his masters in court. And right before, allegedly, he gets a chance to defend himself to get his masters in court, now he's in jail. Now, I don't know what Brother R. Kelly did, but I know how much R. Kelly is worth dead. For all that material for 20 years, written and produced, to be owned by a record company, I guarantee you they won't stop you from selling R. Kelly and telling you how good it is to buy if R. Kelly was to die in jail. I guarantee you if R. Kelly passed away with his masters and things still out, they will still sell it. So you got to ask yourself, black people, what are we watching here? So all of your great black males are just somehow rapists and just deviants, while Ben Roethlisberger can stand up erect. You tell us we need to buy and spend our money, and then when the very same men, Jay Prince don't have a charge of that nature. He has a respectful jacket on through and through. And they've been attacking this man his entire life based on his information that he's put out. Said he had the money to put up and was pulling his money together with other black brothers. And they sent the FBI allegedly at him. And the DA, a crooked DA. So how can black men do what you say, Mr. Jackson? When we do try to put the money up, they send in the FBI and they're doing everything in their power to bring up cases and bring up charges with what the Supreme Court said was not enough information. But the man could still spend 3 years in jail, and he could not use the money he earned to buy what he deserved to buy.
All right, what's going on, beautiful people? How y'all doing? So as y'all just heard, that's what Kwame Brown had to say about R. Kelly. You know, recently in the last video I did, I was saying how I was proud of Kwame Brown, you know what I'm saying, for finding a new outlet and a new way to inspire people, you know, outside of basketball, life after basketball, you know. And I had no idea that he even said this. I don't know. Man, I know that Bill Cosby, you know, the situation with him is you know, that just now happened where his situation is getting overturned, and that is just a great thing, man. It's a great thing because they should have never locked that man up in the first place, man. You know what I'm saying? 80-some-year-old man then lived his life, then made so much money in the industry and for the industry, and then, you know, blind pretty much, and for them to try to lock that man up for allegations of things that they say happened or may not happen 50 years ago, that's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And I think that hopefully people are going to start seeing the injustice that has happened against R. Kelly, because like I said, it's not about whether or not you think he did it or he didn't do it. What I've been trying to get people to understand is how much injustice has been already put against this man. You know what I mean? And me and my wife have been saying over and over, if he's so guilty, then there should be no need to stack the deck on him like that. It should be no need to put all these obstacles in front of him and hold him in the federal custody for over 2 years without, you know what I'm saying, over allegations, people. Over allegations, you know. And I'm looking at this. I did the video on the New York indictment, right? And we all know that's a joke. You know, that is a complete joke they are trying to charge this man for racketeering, saying he was running a criminal enterprise, RICO. When that type of charge is for real criminal enterprises, real mob bosses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. We all know that y'all trying to charge him with that so y'all can, put the forfeiture on him. That's all that's about. They want the criminal forfeiture on him, and that way he can't get his masters back from the label. I mean, that's just obvious. That's common sense. A blind man could see that. A blind man could see that. And obviously, Kwame Brown just said that. Kwame Brown can see it. You know what I mean? Kwame Brown can see it. And I'm like I said before, I am proud of that brother, man, for exposing, exposing all of these puppets. You know what I'm saying? That are really hurting the black community, man. They hurting us. They're putting these positions to hurt us. And that's exactly what they're doing. And Kwame Brown is exposing that. And like I said, I got nothing but love for that brother. Now, this Chicago indictment, everybody, it's pretty much the same as the New York indictment. I mean, it's a premature document. You could tell that it was just put together real quick, just to get something out of there. I believe, y'all, that they felt like they had this man convicted so much in the court of public opinion that that's the reason why they was able to put these two indictments out. Because these two indictments is clearly, they're premature. This is not, these indictments do not say to me that this is a man that should be locked up for the rest of his life. That's just not what it says, like count 1 in the Chicago indictment. It says, in or around 98 or 99, the defendant herein did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction. And then, this count is for video 1, they say. It says the defendant knew or had reason to know that such visual depictions would be transported in interstate or foreign commerce or mailed, or such visual depictions was actually transported in interstate or foreign commerce or mailed. So that's to me is a joke, okay? They're basically trying to say that he knew that he put out a tape with a minor, and he knew that this tape was going to spread across the country, and people was going to bootleg copies and all this and all that. That's basically what they're trying to say. And that's just a complete joke. For one, R. Kelly has constantly stated that it's not him on the tape. Okay? I don't believe it's him on the tape. You know what I'm saying? And they're pretty much, they claim that they got 4 tapes. But if you read this indictment, it's clear to me that it's the same tape and that it's copies. Somebody tried to shake R. Kelly down and they made copies of the same tape. And they're clearly charging him over and over for the same tape. Because, for example, with count 2, it says between approximately, they go that approximately word again, meaning they're not 100% sure, September 26, 1998, and September 25th, 1999. So that's a year range right there. And according to the description of the charge, it's the same description as count 1. It's the same woman as count 1. The only difference is it's video 2. Okay? So to me, that's the same tape. It's the same tape. It's just a different copy. Count 3, it's the same exact date as count 2. Okay? It's the same description. It's the same woman. The only difference is it's video 3. So that's clearly a copy. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's the same woman, same date, and the same description as far as the charge. It's just video 3, and count 2 is video 2. That's the same tape. It's just a copy. Okay? Count 4, it says in or around 1998. So in or around 1998, that's at least a 4-year gap, plus the end of 97, and plus the beginning of 99. It could be anywhere in that range, which is basically the same charge. September 26, 1998 to September 25th, 1999. It's the same date range. They just changed the way they wrote out the charge. That's it. Same description, same woman, except this is video 4, which is another copy of the same tape. Okay? The same tape that he already went to trial for in 2008, and he already was acquitted for, because they could not prove the age of the girl on the tape. The girl was saying that it wasn't her. Her parents were saying that it wasn't her. R. Kelly saying that it wasn't him. I mean, what more do you want? The man that discovered the tape, the first person with the tape, Jim Derogatis, pleaded the fifth, which we all know when you plead the fifth, it's so that you don't, it's on the ground so that you don't incriminate yourself. So I don't understand why people are trying to act like we can't see that these charges are the same charge. It's the same charge. They just changed the date around. That's all they did. No, they didn't even change the date. They just rewrote the date. That's all. They just rewrote it. You know, it's just ridiculous, man. It really is. In count 5, it says Kelly was the president and manager of several businesses, each located in Chicago, the Northern District, that he maintained in furtherance of his music career. Why wouldn't he have? I mean, what is wrong with running businesses? What is wrong with trying to run a business? I don't understand. Like, I'm just not seeing no crimes here, man. I'm just not. I'm seeing speculation. I'm seeing speculation for real. I'm seeing gossip, and I'm seeing nothing but allegations that don't even seem like there's any solid evidence attached to them, man. No solid evidence attached to them. You know, it says including but not limited to Bass Productions Ltd. And RSK Enterprises LLC, the Kelly businesses. Well, there goes that Bass Productions and the RSK Enterprises. For some reason, they're trying to figure out where the money is. You know, that's all these indictments is about, man. They just want to get down to this man's money and stop this man from getting his generational wealth. We all can see it. We all can see this. You know, we all can see this. And the thing that I have, the main problem that I have with this indictment here, this Chicago indictment, the Illinois indictment, is it's so much extortion inside of it. I mean, it's obvious that this man was being extorted, or people were attempting to extort this man for money. It's clear to me. You know, it says between approximately 2001 and 2009, approximately 2009, Kelly, McDavid, Individual A, and others caused Individual B to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for obtaining and returning multiple videos that they knew depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact and acts with a minor. Well, first and foremost, what stands out to me with that is it says multiple videos, okay? Now, there was only one tape in the trial. So why is and they had that tape because that's the tape that R. Kelly got indicted on. So where are these other tapes? What's these other tapes? They're copies of the same tape. That's all it is. Copies of the same tape. It says in approximately 2007, Kelly and McDavid paid minor 2 and individual C each approximately $100,000 in exchange for their efforts to return Kelly's videotapes. Videotapes with an S, okay? Now, minor 2, which we know was Lisa Van Allen, right? Which we know she wasn't a minor for one. If she said she met him at the Home Alone video shoot, she would have had to at least be 18 by the time she hooked up with R. Kelly. Okay? So, if she admitted to stealing the tape, to stealing a tape, this is what she said. She stole a tape, right? Why would they say obtaining and returning multiple videos? You know what I'm saying? They're saying in their efforts of retaining multiple videos. But she stole the tape. So how much effort did she have to put in to get the tape back? She had already stole it. You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. They are really just dumb to me, man. And then and my question is, right, it says that they directed them to take a polygraph test. But why did they direct individual B to take a polygraph test along with minor 2 and individual C? It doesn't make sense. If they only paid minor 2 and individual C $100,000 each, why would individual B have to take a lie detector test? Because like I said before, if I know that I'm not getting paid to do something, why am I taking a lie detector test? Why would he take a lie detector test unless he got paid as well and they are omitting that information? Now, why would they omit that information in 2007 that individual B got paid? Well, that's easy, because individual B in 2008, while Kelly was on trial, he threatened that he was going to hold a press conference in June of 2008 so that he wouldn't do it. They're trying to say that Kelly, McDavid, and others paid him approximately $170,000. Okay? This is just stupid. But he took a polygraph test in 2007. And then he's threatening to hold a press conference in 2008. That sounds like somebody that's constantly trying to extort somebody for money. That's what that sounds like to me. And it definitely sounds like he had got paid as well in 2007, but the federal government is omitting that information. Because if they left that information in there, then that would be obvious extortion in the paperwork. But you don't even need to leave that in there. You can see that they're extorting this man for money. If you steal a tape from somebody, okay, and then in order for them to get their property back, their tape back, you say it's his tape, right? Why do you have to pay somebody to give you your property back that they stole from you? It doesn't make sense. It's extortion. It's clear extortion. You know? It's clear extortion. And then, and like I said, why were there more than one tape returned? Why were they returning copies or multiple videos if they weren't making copies of the same tape? It clearly says that they returned multiple tapes. And if you look at the descriptions from count 1 through count 4, it's clearly the same tape. It's just a copy, everybody. That's all. It's just a copy.
You and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you start going through his tapes and start finding some of the various tapes?
That was back in either 99 or 2000.
So that was before you actually moved?
Yes.
And came back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because at one point you actually started taking some of the tapes?
I just took one.
You took one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
And
one
I was
that you were in?
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was in multiple,
in.
but I found that I just ran across one that I was in.
Okay. And why did you take that one particular tape when there's a whole bunch of tapes with you?
Just only one I was able to run into at that moment. If I would have seen more with me on them, I would have took those two.
Okay. And the tape that ultimately, came out in court later, was that one of the tapes that you saw during that time?
No, the one that came out in court is not. The people on the tape, I recognize them, but no, that wasn't one of the tapes that I looked at.
Okay. I mean, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but, in that particular tape, there's like urination and stuff like that. Were you doing any of that stuff with him yourself or no?
No, he actually did ask me about urinating on my butt. And I told him, I didn't tell him anything. Actually, I just kind of laughed it off and was like, kind of like that. So he has a way of kind of fishing for what he can and can't do and to you and things like that. So when he saw that I didn't just right away agree with it, then he knew that wasn't nothing I was interested in doing. So it never came up again.
Okay. But you went ahead and stole this tape and then you gave it to one of his artists?
Yes.
Can you say who that was?
Yeah, his name was Keith. It was when he was in his group talent. It was actually they became friends of mine because they were staying in one of the same hotels that I had a room in, and Rob would give them only $25 to eat with. This is what they told me, and they would see me ordering all this room service and stuff. Like if they walk by the hallway and see my trays, out in the hall and stuff, and they were, I said, well, I can order y'all food. So that's how we got cool. So I would just order them food all the time. And, that's how we became cool.
Okay. So now you have this tape. You gave it to one of his artists to hold. And this is before the charges and everything?
Yes. Well, he had actually it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay.
And at one point, he finds out that you took that tape.
Yeah, he did. He found out.
And how did that go?
That was in 2007. Yeah, he found out about it. And he actually asked me to come to Chicago. And I came to Chicago. We talked about it. He asked me, did I think I could get possession of it? And I told him I did. And I actually spoke with Keith and got him to come to Chicago with the tape.
Okay. So I guess Kelly's lawyers said that you tried to get $300,000 for that tape.
Yeah, no. We didn't try to get anything for anything.
Okay,
no,
so
he actually, he did give them money for the tape, but he gave them, it was his idea. He said, I will give you $250,000 for the tape. So it wasn't, they didn't say, oh, if you give me, I have this, and if you want it, you get, no. They didn't even want to deal with him. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want to give him the tape, nothing. So no, it wasn't anything like that.
Okay, but you just offered him $250,000. So
yeah, he did. He offered them, but they'd be, wouldn't you take it if somebody offered you some money? That's not blackmail if you offered it,
Okay. And so, were you involved in that financial transaction? Did you get part of that money?
I was involved in it, yes, because I was the one who had to convince them to come. I was the one who had to go get the lie detector test done, things like that. So yes, I was.
Okay. And can you say how much you got out of that?
It ended up being, because it was several trips I had to take, $100,000.
Okay, so you got 100 and Keith got 150.
No, he ended up with 100 as well.
Okay.
50 never came for no one.
Well, first things first. As you can see, they're saying multiple tapes in the paperwork. She just said out her own mouth that she only took one tape. So that's your proof right there that they made copies of that tape. All right. Now, second of all, what stood out to me is, as DJ Vlad, who really pisses me off too with this with his questioning about R. Kelly. But that's for another topic. He asked her, did they asked whether or not they asked R. Kelly for $300,000 or whatever. She immediately says no, he offered it. And she made a statement that was real telling to me. She started laughing and then at the same time said, it's not blackmail if someone offers you the money. But DJ Vlad didn't ask you anything about no blackmail. He didn't once say that you was blackmailing him. He didn't say none of that. So to me, that was a guilty conscience right there. A guilty conscience. Okay? She just showed you that they was trying to extort that man for money. I don't care what nobody say. That was a guilty conscience, because DJ Vlad, the interviewer, didn't say anything about extortion, didn't say anything about blackmail, none of that. She said it out her own mouth. She said it out her own mouth. And then she said that she got cool with them. But I thought that R. Kelly, hold on, first and foremost, she said that R. Kelly asked her if he could urinate on her butt or whatever. But I thought that R. Kelly was controlling. I thought these women didn't have no say-so in the matter. Now R. Kelly's asking her for permission to do something? And then on top of that, she said that she met them two, his artists, the dudes that was extorting R. Kelly for money, allegedly. At least I think they were. And her was extorting R. Kelly for money. She said she met them because they would see her ordering a bunch of food and they would walk by her room. And she said, oh, I can order you some food. But I thought they weren't allowed to talk to nobody. I thought they had to keep their heads down and not talk to any of the other artists or any other of the bandmates, or the dancers can't talk to the managers, and I thought that R. Kelly was controlling everything like that, where nobody could conversate with nobody. And why did she have to take several trips as she was orchestrating this deal, this transaction of returning some multiple tapes and receiving money? She is a compulsive liar, and she tells on herself all the time. She tells on herself all the time. Now, if that right there wasn't evidence that they was trying to shake that man down for some money, there is no way that I'm going to believe that R. Kelly, who most likely wasn't even in control of his financial decisions at the time. That's why you hire accountants and business managers. That's why you hire them. They control, you know what I'm saying? They take care of your business dealings, you know what I'm saying, for you. And that's why R. Kelly was able to constantly be in the studio working on hit after hit after hit after hit. Or did we all forget? But she's trying to make it, she wants us to believe that R. Kelly offered them money. He offered them $250,000 to return a tape that isn't even in a part of the indictment. Okay? We've never seen this tape, this magical tape that she claims she's in with her and Rashonda Landfair, that we've never seen. I don't even believe that that tape even exists. It doesn't even exist. It's a tape that she stole from R. Kelly, that they made multiple copies of. They probably tried to edit it and do all types of incriminating things, and they was trying to shake that man down for money. And Mr. Daryl McDavid, like I said, anybody with a claim, he was just giving anybody money. You know, just trying to make things go away. That's all. At least that's what I think happened. But they clearly was extorting that man for money, making multiple copies of that tape. Multiple copies. All right. Now, we can pull up interview after interview with her. And I'm telling you, the story is going to change every time. She's going to slip up every time. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, everybody, it's all going to come out. And pretty soon, everyone is going to have to be held responsible for their actions. And R. Kelly has had a lot of time to sit in there and put all the pieces together and think. Trust and believe that. Now, as we further go on with this indictment, it starts saying that minor one, which was Rashonda Landfair, put in a false entry to law enforcement in 2000. But what gave the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, what made them begin investigating if R. Kelly was sleeping with Rashonda Landfair in April of 2000, when the tape that he got indicted on didn't come out until 2002. So what caused them to say, oh, you know what, let's investigate whether or not R. Kelly is sleeping with this specific person right here? You know, it's ridiculous what they trying to say, man. And then it says, in approximately, there go that word, May 2002, McDavid only, it says only McDavid. Well, it doesn't say only McDavid, but it just says McDavid instructed minor one's father, not McDavid and R. Kelly, but it just says McDavid instructed minor one's father to provide knowingly false testimony to the Cook County grand jury. And then it says McDavid only, okay? That it doesn't say nothing about R. Kelly, everybody. So that speaks volumes to me. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volumes to me. Then it says he also instructed, McDavid again only, also instructed her father to deny that video 1 depicted minor 1 and R. Kelly engaging in sexual acts. All right. Then it says, well, first and foremost, I got this to say. Considering, right, that Rashonda Landfair was still a minor back in 2000, right? Why didn't law enforcement talk to her parents back in 2000 when they were investigating her and R. Kelly's relationship or whatever? Why didn't they talk to her parents? Why would they only go off the word of a minor? That makes me wonder, did this investigation actually happen? Did this investigation really take place in 2000? You see what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense to me. If she's a minor, they're gonna only ask a minor whether or not they're having sexual relationships with a grown man, and not ask her parents. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't. It says in May 2002, Kelly instructed. Now it just says Kelly instructed minor one to provide knowingly false testimony to Cook County grand jury. This is just BS. On or about July 26, 2007, Kelly and McDavid directed that minor 2 meet with a lawyer and deny that her and Kelly ever engaged in sexual acts together with minor 1, as Kelly and McDavid intended a false record document and tangible objects was prepared based upon minor 2's false statements. Okay, so let me get this straight. She must have went and said one thing, but now she's trying to say what R. Kelly and McDavid directed her to do that. It doesn't say they forced her to do it. That's one thing. It doesn't say they forced her, which speaks volumes to me, you know. Then it says Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to intimidate, threaten, pressure, persuade, and provide benefits and money to victims, family members, witnesses, and others to ensure they would destroy, conceal, cover up, falsify, and make a false entry in a record or document. Now, I don't understand how you can threaten, pressure, and provide benefits and money to someone. I don't see how you can do that at the same time. It just seems like they're saying two different things right there. They didn't put together this indictment, y'all, and it seems like anywhere that they found some money being paid somewhere, they're trying to say that there was some foul play in that, which is just that's gonna be, that's just hard to prove. They're not gonna be able to prove this. I really know they're not. It says approximately January and February 2002, Kelly and McDavid caused minor 1 and her parents to travel to foreign countries to make them unavailable to law enforcement, investigating minor 1's sexual relationship with Kelly and video 1. All right. Well, question. Rashana Landfair, right? She was in a band, and her band was pretty successful overseas. And she was signed to R. Kelly's label. So my question is, why couldn't she have just been going out the country to perform? You know what I'm saying? If she's successful, she's in a successful band. For the Cause was the name of the band. For the Cause was very successful, especially out in Germany and stuff like that, all throughout Europe. I think their song Stand By Me hit the top 10 in 10 different countries. The top 10 in 10 different countries throughout Europe. So if they're going to foreign countries, why can't it be just to perform? That's where their group is successful at. But no, they want us to believe that R. Kelly sent them out there so that they could avoid law enforcement from doing this investigation that they had 6 years to do, because his trial didn't start until 2008. He was indicted in 2002. They had 6 years to do this investigation. Now I know that the Landfairs was not out of the country for 6 years straight. That I do know. Also, it says hold on, let me see. It says in May 2002, minor 1 and her father testified to the grand jury. What about the mother? The mother didn't have to testify? But check this out, right? If the video didn't come out until February 2002, the one that he got indicted on, right? How can they say he sent them to foreign countries first in January of 2002 to make them unavailable to law enforcement investigating Minor One, R. Kelly, and Video One. How could he have sent them out the country in January? The tape hadn't hit the airways until February, and they're saying he sent them out the country in January and in February to avoid, so that they wouldn't be available to law enforcement, who was investigating her and R. Kelly's relationship, and they was investigating Video One. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, everybody. It doesn't. From approximately 2000 to approximately 2015, Kelly McDavid made payments and bought gifts for Minor One and her parents. Between approximately January 2014 and approximately October 2015, Kelly caused monthly payments to be made to Minor One, with many of which contained settlement in the transaction line or something similar. Kelly made these payments to ensure Minor One continued to abide by her previous false statements. McDavid, hold on, first and foremost, though. Then it says McDavid was paid in 2014 to 2015 for protecting Kelly's image, reputation, and assets. But my question is, the man he was indicted in 2002. He went to trial in 2008. He was acquitted. So 6 years later, what's so special about 2014 and 2015 where he decided he had to start paying her settlements every month? What's so important about that year? Because he wasn't facing no charges. There wasn't even no speculation going on. There wasn't no media gossip going on at the time. No allegations going on at the time. The story about the sex cult hadn't came out yet. So my question is, what was so important about that year where he felt like he had to pay her every month so that she would continue to... You see what I'm saying? This just does not make sense. It does not make sense. They're basically saying that there's no way, that there was no other reason that he paid somebody that was his artist. Somebody whose father who worked on his records for years, and somebody that he says is like his goddaughter. I don't understand. Why does it have to be foul play? It's not making sense. Why does it have to be foul play? It is crazy. And these people have already stated to the grand jury that it was not her on the tape. So basically what I'm hearing is that they're admitting to perjury. They want us to believe that they're admitting to perjury now, all of a sudden. Even though their attorney came out in July of 2019 and said that all that talk about they took payoffs and that R. Kelly obstructed justice and sent them out the country to avoid law enforcement, he already said all that was bullshit. Excuse my language. It was BS. But, they got to make this sound as bad as possible. And I think, everybody, that we have been hoodwinked. You know what I'm saying? I think we have been bamboozled to thinking that this woman, this grown woman, Rashana Landfair, is going to testify against R. Kelly. I just don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. It says in approximately September 2008, he paid Minor One's father $30,000 with his Bass Production Ltd. And that was signed by McDavid. It wasn't signed by R. Kelly, but it was signed by McDavid because he was his accountant, his business manager. He was handling his business affairs while R. Kelly kept working, bringing in the money, bringing in the hits. Do you understand? And like I said before, why couldn't that just be payment to an employee? The father worked on the record, on R. Kelly's records for years, even after the trial, even after the so-called tape. He still was working on R. Kelly's records. So why couldn't that just be payment? Just payment for doing your job. It's that simple. It says approximately August 2013, Kelly caused Bass Productions Ltd. To transfer the title of a GMC Yukon Denali to Minor One. He said that was his goddaughter. Why does it have to be foul play? He couldn't just want to give her a Denali? She used to be his artist. Well, I don't know. She might have still been under his label. I don't know. But I know she used to be his artist. He says that's his goddaughter. Why can't he just want to give her a gift? It's not making sense. It doesn't necessarily mean, because in 2013, like I said, there was no allegations floating around. There was no nothing. He wasn't being investigated by law enforcement. He wasn't facing charges. What would be his reason? He had already been acquitted in 2008. What's so special about this time where now he feel like he got to start paying people off again when there's no allegations floating around? Let's be serious here, man. Approximately September 2014, Kelly caused a wire payment of $80,000 to McDavid through his firm Winkler and McDavid Ltd. Okay, McDavid is his business manager, his accountant. He has to pay these people. They have to get paid. There's nothing wrong with protecting an artist's image. That's what they're supposed to do if they're working for him. They're supposed to protect his image. They're supposed to protect his brand. Since when did that become a crime? When did that become a crime? It says approximately October 2014, Kelly caused the RSK Enterprises LLC check to minor one for $1,150 with the notation personal, RK in the memo line. And that's a crime? That just automatically means, okay, so they want us to believe he's just paying her $1,000 just because what? So that she'll just keep what? Keep honoring her previous statements? But who did she have to honor those statements to? Who was asking her questions whether or not she was in that tape? Nobody was talking about the tape. Nobody was talking about none of that. This doesn't seem reasonable to me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem reasonable, everybody. It doesn't. It really doesn't seem reasonable. So then it says, right, when they receive these videos back, right, which is count 6, count 7, and count 8. Count 6, it says in or around August 2001 to April 2007. And I'm guessing that's when they received video 2, video 3, and video 4. So how can count 7 be in or around 2001 or 2002? They received video 2 and video 3. And how can count 8 be in or around March 2007 to April 2007? They received video 4. It's the same charge. It's the same charge. They just reworded it once again. Count 6, they put a longer range on it. They put from 2001 to 2007. Okay? And they said he received video 2, 3, and 4. So then they charged him again for videos 2 and 3, which that's why they only put around 2001 or 2002. But it's the same tape. You see what I'm saying? And then in count 8, they charged him again for video 4. And that's why they put 2007. So they put 2001 to 2002 for videos 2 and 3. And they're trying to say he got video 4 around 2007. It's the same charge, man. It's the same charge. They just charging him twice. They're charging him twice for the same things. That's the same thing they did in the New York indictment, everybody. They're charging him twice for the same things, man. And I'm gonna get ready and wrap this up, but I want to bring this back to everyone's attention. Okay. It says that Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor 1, minor 2, minor 3, minor 4, and minor 5 when they were under 18 years of age, right? It says between in or around 98 and in or around 2002, Kelly recorded himself on video engaging in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors, including minor 1, minor 2, minor 4, and minor 5. So what they're saying is they don't have a video of him with minor 3, right? But they have a video of him with minor 1, minor 2, minor 4, and minor 5. However, videos, it says video 1, video 2, video 3, and video 4 depict Kelly engaged in sexual acts and sexual contact with minor 1. It doesn't say nobody else. Only minor 1. So they're saying that they got him on video with these other minors, but they're telling you that they don't have that evidence. They only have videos that involve minor 1. And the reason why she's in all 4 of these videos, because once again, it's the same video. They just made copies to extort this man. That's it. Then it says minor 1 met Kelly in or around 96 or 97 when minor 1 was approximately 13 or 12 or 13 years old. Okay. Minor 2, she met him in or around 97 when minor 2 was approximately 17 years old. Minor 3 met him in or around 96, approximately 15. Minor 4 met him in or around 99 when she was approximately 16. And minor 5 met Kelly in or around 97 or 98 when she was approximately 13 or 14. But where is the proof of these other minors? Where's the evidence of these other minors? Because they only have video evidence, allegedly, that they say with minor 1, which is the same woman that he already went to trial for in 2008 and that he was acquitted for, and that the prosecution didn't subpoena. They could have easily subpoenaed the minor 1 and the parents and had them hit the stand, but they chose not to do that because they know, and they knew that that wasn't her on the tape. They knew that. And people need to understand, man, these prosecutors in the federal government, they will put things on paper that they do not have. And it's not like when it comes time for the trial and they can't present these videos like they say that he recorded himself with minor 2, minor 4, and minor 5, but they can't present that, they're not going to get in trouble. It ain't like the federal government's going to get in trouble for not having that. But they're telling people that they got it because their plan from the initial start was to convict this man in the court of public opinion. That was their plan. And they aired a biased docuseries 3 nights straight. I remember when Michael Avenatti, everybody, when he first got charged, when they first said he tried to shake down Nike, right? They immediately brought Lanita Carter on CBS the very next day. And Michael Avenatti was representing Lanita Carter at the time. I don't know if he still is, but he was representing her at the time. So they brought her on CBS the very next day to try to make people, you know what I'm saying, distract people from seeing that Michael Avenatti is a criminal now, or alleged criminal at the time. It was alleged, but that he's really no good. He's a crook. Okay, he's a crook. So they brought Lanita Carter on there, who you can never hear her say anything bad about R. Kelly, really. I mean, she really went, like, if you hear her on Surviving R. Kelly 2, she spoke so highly of him. I'm really surprised that they even aired it. They even aired her segment on there, because she spoke so highly of him, yeah? Lanita Carter, that is. And they want us to believe that she still has a shirt that's over, at this point, what, 18 years old? 18 years old, and she's still holding on to this shirt with DNA on it. Man, they've tricked us, man. Well, they didn't trick us. You know, the real R. Kelly supporters, we didn't get tricked, but the rest of America got tricked. They got bamboozled. They got hoodwinked. And we take it back to the beginning of this video with Kwame Brown. Somebody with a platform like that, and he said what he said, that's huge, man. That's huge. And I think eventually, R. Kelly is going to be out of this situation, and he gonna be back stronger than ever. And all the people that tried to shake him down and extort him and all this, they gonna have to pay for that. We all gotta pay for our actions. I mean, look at all these bogus articles. All these bogus bias articles. While this man is facing charges, they're putting these articles out. Trying to get people, you know, trying to sway the public. Trying to sway the public. Man, Jim Derrigas is another one. He needs to be held accountable for his actions, man. But on that note, clear extortion in this paperwork. You can see that it was multiple videos that they made copies of, and they was trying to shake them down. And that's just obvious, everybody. They don't have the evidence. They don't have the they're telling us they got the videos of these other minors, but they're saying they don't have the videos, apparently. They only got one video that's different copies of the same woman that he already was acquitted of. And you're telling me that that's not double jeopardy because they renamed the charges, and it's because it's the federal government now, Homeland Security. But the FBI, according to the prosecution in 2008, they said that they confirmed that the tape was legit. Well, why didn't the FBI charge R. Kelly? And why isn't the FBI charging R. Kelly right now? Things that we got to understand, and we got to wake up and say, man, this happens every day in America to the black man and woman. But yeah, on that note, everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, just hit the description down at the bottom. I got the links in the description. And like I said, God bless you all. Free R. Kelly. Peace.